Hey guys, what's up? This is Emmy and Basis.
And Raptor052.
And we're here to talk about Megas XLR for Cartoon Network. Why? Because that show should have kept going. And Raptor, if you would please take first response.
First off, this is, once again, I may be a mod for the other channel. This is me talking just as a normal human being. I'm not criticizing anyone. That being said, the people in charge of the show made a huge mistake when they decided to let it go after only 2 seasons. At the end of, I'm going to assume that most people here know how the show ends. Ends currently. Coop goes to an alternate dimension, beats the fuck out of his evil alter ego, gets an even bigger, badder Megas, and goes back to his own dimension. At the end of the series, we see a couple of clouds exploding and Coop laughing. I can only imagine that this means that he has found a button that when pushed blows up the planet or something equally amazing. And yet the producers decide to never show it to us. I can't imagine what was going through their head, but I can imagine that it was not along the lines of, hey, this is a great idea to make easy money. The show could have easily gone on for another 2, possibly even 3 seasons, showing Coop's increasingly difficult battles against the Glorb, against the Glorb, eventually resulting in saving the planet while maintaining that carefree, everyman attitude that he had. I mean, let's face it, the man went ballistic because the leader of the Glorb destroyed a Philly cheesesteak. What more do you need to make an awesome TV show?
I tell you, it is an awesome TV show. I'll tell you, when Kiva actually came into the past, I was expecting, hey, is she going to get back to the future to her own time? Maybe she had a relationship with Coop or James. Is it James, if I'm correct?
Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie. Would she work up a relationship with those two? Who knows? Will she make it back? I don't know, because they can't continue it. You know why? Because Cartoon Network just a stupid little bitchy channel that, that doesn't want to, keep going.
And going back to that, at the end of season 1, we start to see Jamie and Kiva develop a relationship. They could have easily continued that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, do you think she could have had a crush for Cooper too? You never know.
Maybe not Coop. I think that their relationship was strictly professional, and plus she was probably still harboring a lot of resentment over what he had done to Megas. But for Jamie, possibly.
Yeah. You never know, because believe me, sometimes there will be like Cartoon Network has done those alternate dimension kind of funny things where it's like, that girl likes that one person, but then they switch it up, on that one episode. And it's like, I wonder if they're ever going to do that again,
Again, that being said, in the brief 2 seasons that it had, Megas had some of the greatest moments in television history. The clip of Megas absolutely totaling the DMV across all stations has well over 1 million hits on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And while this may not be significant to, say, epic rap battles of history, which gets in the tens of millions consistently, the fact that 1 million people have watched that clip means that it will live on in memory for at least the next 10 years. It means that there is still interest in it 10 years after the show was canceled.
Oh yeah. It's it's got a big following. I mean, it's like Star Trek. It has like a huge ass following, but they're not continuing the series. There's always a cult behind something.
There's always a cult. Not only is there always a cult behind it, but in this case, that cult is now reaching the age where they're going to have a disposable income, where they're going to have the ability to do things that as a kid 10 years ago they wouldn't have had the ability to do. They would have the ability to buy the merchandise. They would have the ability to buy toys, action figures, collectibles, things along those lines. Cartoon Network flushed a gold mine down the toilet, and now they are not going to. And it's been so long that they're not going to be able to rectify the mistake. It's moved too fast. It's moved too far beyond the point of salvaging.
Oh yeah.
They let a gold mine slip through their fingers, and they're never going to realize it.
Oh yeah, big time. And I tell you what, we actually got introduced by Coop's cousin, actually. You know, I mean, there could have been something going on there. You know, maybe he could take over. You know, Megas XLR on Megas. You know, after Coop maybe has to go out of town or something. You know, maybe him and Jamie, you know, might voyage out. That could be a cool episode. You know, and then Kiva gets all ape shit when, you know, her Coop comes back from some weird place, you know. That'd be a funny episode to see. Jamie and Coop's cousin going on a crazy spree on Megas. That'd be, you know.
I mean, they did all of these, in the second season especially, they did do a few references to the past episodes, but then they introduced this whole slew of new characters, of new concepts, of new ideas, and they never do anything with them. It's like the second season, the first season shows Coop, you know, doing his, beginning to understand Megas' potential. And in season 2, he starts to realize, okay, I need to actually be taking this stuff seriously, because, even if I mess up, even if I do what I love to do, which is just blow the hell out of everything, there can be massive consequences. You know, the episode like you just said, where he introduces his cousin, they blow away a third of the freaking moon and they have to put it back together. You know, Coop starts to realize that, you know, I have to be more in control. I can't just go in, like a freight train and expect to come out unscathed. Megas took severe damage in both season finales, more so in the second one because he was completely destroyed because he wasn't using his head in combat. He was going in like your typical video game nerd, guns blazing, run and gun. I think in season 3 we would have started to see Coop actually taking Kiva's advice, starting to think tactically, starting to outthink the Glorb rather than just smash them.
Yeah, big time. Now, you've seen that Voltron rip-off people. Now that could lead up to something cool. The F-Force, yeah. You know, you could see more of the F-Force later on in the series, you know? They could come back. I mean, they were fat slobs who were just playing around after that, and then they had like a huge head like Zordon, but, you know, hey, we could see more of them.
It's a parody! Get over it!
I know, I'm just saying though, you could see more of them in the series.
See more of them. There's just dozens of ideas out there that could have made for amazing spin-offs, parody, you know, I don't want to say it, but blatant rip-offs, copyright infringement, fucking do it all. Alright? This is kind of recent, but if Borderlands 2, which just hit stores yesterday, if they can put an arrow to the knee parody in their game and get laughed at by Bethesda about it, there's no way that you would see Nintendo rage whenever they did the Fabio brothers. Nintendo actually laughed at it. They love the publicity. Large companies like this, they love, the saying no publicity is bad publicity is true. It's true, and Megas excelled at it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, name one episode where there wasn't a parody of something. Name one episode where something massive didn't explode.
I can't tell you, because every episode was a parody and just freaking explosions. Every time he called Megas, one building would get destroyed.
Also, tell me that you wouldn't rather see the Megas XLR version of Jersey rather than the Jersey Shore version. Name one person out there who would rather see that.
Some retarded fool.
Speaking of which, Jersey Shore got canceled, and I love it.
Oh yeah. Me and him are going to a bar later this weekend. We're gonna party hard. No, not really.
Anyway.
Anyways, is there anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
I definitely want the chance to do more of these, because at the same time that Megas XLR got canceled, Cartoon Network was going through a massive change, and you could see shows like Ed, Edd n Eddy, Dexter's Lab, The Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack, all the shows that had made Cartoon Network famous from like 1995 on were getting canceled, we're getting cut, we're getting scrapped. We're getting rolled on. We're getting removed from the lineup in favor of a newer batch of TV shows that, in my opinion, both as a viewer, both as someone who was watching them at the time, and someone who went back and tried to watch them again in comparison, they weren't up to snuff. They weren't of the same quality that Cartoon Network could have produced.
Oh yeah, big time. Alright, all I have to say is Cartoon Network, from when I first saw you back in 1999 all the way up to today, you've changed so many times. The first time I've ever seen Cartoon Network shine, in my opinion, for me, was 2005, when they started showing that Cartoon Network summer stuff. That was amazing. Lifetime's Jumper League, Camp Lazlo, new Ed, Edd n Eddy, all these good new shows. In 2005, Cartoon Network sprung for me, and that was the greatest times of my life. In 2009, it kind of sprung up just a little bit, and then it ended in 2010 with some stupid bullshit.
Now, Cartoon Network, step your game up. You used to be the king. I mean, you were the Cartoon Network. You were the king of cartoons, and you have let that title slip from your fingers oh so many times.
Oh yeah. I mean, Disney is slipping, along with Nickelodeon too.
Disney, Nick, Cartoon Network.
Yes.
We love our childhoods. Bring them back, please.
Exactly. The #1 channel I think possibly is going is the Hub, because that has basically big channel names. And believe me, if you've seen the Brony fandom, believe me, the Hub is like the #1 in my opinion, because I've seen how many people go to those fandoms. And actually, they've actually shown some of the old G.I. Joe's, Transformers, and everything. So everybody's flocking to the Hub and watching it. So
you know why? Because they're following the #1 rule of mass media. They are giving people what they want, and what people want right nowadays is what will sell no matter what. It's fucking nostalgia. If you can make a person feel like a kid again for 30 minutes, you can show them a cartoon from their childhood that they'll love. They will sit down and watch that thing at every opportunity.
Oh yeah. Big time. I guess we'll just end it here. Well, alright guys, this is MEM Basis.
And Racky052.
And we hope Cartoon Network will change. And if you're watching this, we hope you all have a good night.
See ya.